What's up, y'all? It's Chris. Here to talk about last night's Diaz Malignaggi results and whatnot. I know it's a little bit late, but when it's a close to controversial fight, I like to rewatch it, so I don't get just caught up in the moment and kind of say something. I was pretty worked up, but I just want to give a fair analysis of the fight, so I like to go back and rewatch it rather than just, because you kind of get heated when certain things happen, and you don't really, at least myself personally, I might have not seen it the way I did after rewatching the fight, but I'm not really going to address the undercard bouts, not too much to say. Daniel Jacobs and Robert Guerrero both won, looked impressive for the most part in their performances, not much to talk about too much there, so I'm going to get right into it. First off, I guess my prediction was right, I thought Diaz was going to win, 8 rounds to 4, 9 rounds to 3, something like that, 10 rounds to 2. Based on a couple of the judges, apparently that was the case, but nah, I don't think that was the case at all, my prediction was way off. I should really watch how I do these predictions from now on, I said to the effect of, I didn't think Paulie Malignaggi had any chance in this fight, and as we saw, that wasn't the case. I should have said if Paulie does this or that right, he could pull it out, or at least he has a chance, rather than just not giving him any shot, because we saw that he obviously did have a very good shot in, winning the fight. Well, maybe not, based on the way the judging went. I guess he didn't have a good chance no matter what he did, unless he would have stopped Juan Diaz, but that wasn't going to happen. Anyways, first off, I liked Paulie's intro with the Arturo Gotti sound bites and whatnot, and he was playing Thunderstruck, I wish Bob Papa would have been quiet there so I could have heard more of the sound bites, but I thought that was kind of cool, nice little tribute. Anyway, so the fight itself, Paulie looked good, came out looking good, especially in the first round, throwing that jab, moving around the ring effectively, doing what he needed to do, kind of laying down the blueprint for what he needed to do to win the fight. Definitely thought he won the first round, thought Diaz on the second, I had Paulie getting the third, Diaz fourth. They were kind of trading rounds back and forth there. One reason why I'm glad I waited to do this video is because last night I didn't see a headbutt that caused the cut, the big cut in the 5th round, and I was kind of pissed off about it. I thought they were just trying to give Diaz the benefit of the doubt, so to speak. But I went and rewatched it, as I said, and there was definitely a headbutt in the 5th round. Paulie's head caught Diaz on the eyebrow. It cut him. And you can see Diaz react real subtly. It was just brief. But it was definitely a headbutt that caused that real bad cut, But props to Juan Diaz, he did say after the fight, he did show that he could fight through a cut. Something that he didn't show as well. He didn't react to as well in the Marquez and the Campbell fights. But anyways, the fight was close, man. There were so many close rounds, it was hard to... Malignaggi looked good in certain spots, using the jab, movement, keeping Diaz at bay, so to speak. And then there were parts where Diaz looked good. He'd get inside, really work the body. He'd land a lot of bigger shots than Paulie was landing. Seemed to have more effect. It almost depends on what do you think is more effective as a fan, or as a judge or whatever. I don't know, but do you go for the guy that's landing more punches, or do you go with the guy that's landing the bigger punches? What do you prefer? Personally, I thought a lot of the rounds were close, a couple of things for Malignaggi, though, he might need to work on is, on the inside, when they were tied up, he wouldn't really do anything, and Diaz was still working. He would throw shots to the body and the head, and Malignaggi wasn't doing anything, just waiting for the ref to break him, but he was definitely getting hit there in those exchanges. So he needs to do something there, not just hold and get hit. Also, when Paulie would land combinations, he would just stand there and not do anything afterwards. He would kind of just stand there with his hands down, and Diaz at times would fire back with a big shot and catch Malignaggi going out. And he would snap his head back at times, which kind of defeats the purpose, Paulie lands these shots, which are good for him for the judges' scorecards, and then he doesn't do anything, and Diaz ends the flurry, ends the, oh man, I can't even think of the damn word. But whatever, when they're together, and it ends, Diaz lands a big shot, so the refs may look at that and say, or the judges, and the crowd in particular, and be like, wow, he won that exchange, that's the word I was looking for. So Paulie definitely needs to do something more than just stand there with his hands down. Either move out or put your guard up so you don't get caught on the way out of combinations. Anyways, speaking of the crowd, Max Kellerman said something to the effect of this is why it's good to have this is part of having a home crowd advantage. it's not so much, always just the judges. It's the fans were reacting so vividly for everything that Juan landed, that you almost think that Diaz isn't doing anything, or Malignaggi isn't doing anything in the fight, which obviously wasn't the case. But the crowd would just react very loudly to anything that Diaz landed. Anyways, after that, Malignaggi got that cut, or Diaz got that cut in the fifth. I think Malignaggi should have thrown more right hands, because that cut was a big cut, and I don't think Diaz would have been able to see those rights coming. And unfortunately, Malignaggi just seemed to stick to being a one-handed fighter. I don't know if he hurt his hand again like he usually does, but he just seemed to go with mostly the jabs, especially in the second half of the fight. He would have been best to throw more of those rights, which might have been able to either, make the cut worse, which are just, land more shots that Diaz might not have seen coming because of the cut. But he just didn't chose not to do so for whatever reason. Anyways, close fight. I had it 7-5 for Malignaggi. Same as Harold Letterman, although I didn't have the same rounds as him necessarily. There were a few rounds that I disagreed with him on, so it wasn't like I just listened to his commentating and went with what he said, if someone thinks that's the case. But at best, I would have said maybe a draw. I could even possibly see how, because there were close rounds, I could see how you can make a case for either guy in a lot of the rounds, possibly even rounds, for a lot of the rounds. But even 115, 113 for Diaz, I don't agree with it, but I could see it. But the 116, 112, and 118, 110, there's no way I can see those scorecards being, accurate at all. Obviously, Malignaggi made noise about the crowd, or about the judges beforehand, and the commission and the referee and whatnot, and the way Golden Boy Promotions set everything up. And it turned out that, he did so for the right he did so, properly, because it turned out to be the case. He ended up getting screwed pretty much. Now, I'm not saying you can't say Diaz didn't win the fight, for people that believe he did win the fight. I'm just saying, especially the 118, 110 scorecard was ridiculous, It wasn't an indication of the fight that happened. If you didn't see the fight and you saw the scorecard, you wouldn't even think that Paulie Malignaggi was in the fight, which anyone who saw it obviously knows that's not the case. So, I've had people tell me, the judges were paid off and whatnot. I don't necessarily believe that's the case, But the thing is, like, we talked to Teddy Ellis like a month ago on the show, and he said it just looks suspicious when, the judges are out the night before with the promoters eating dinner and whatnot, and the promoters are footing their bill. What does that look like, But what it comes down to, in my opinion, is the judges, the Texas judges, whatever, they're going to do what they think is best, or what that state's commission may want. It's best for the Texas State Commission if Juan Diaz wins, because Juan Diaz is a Texas fighter. The more he wins, the better business he's going to do in the state of Texas. And the more it's going to do benefit financially for all involved, including Golden Boy Promotions. And they know what's up. That's why they held the fight there. That's why the ring size was small. That's why they had the weight, catch weight and whatever else. So the judges are more so going to do, at times, unfortunately, what they think that the commission may want, or what may benefit. And they're not going to be held accountable, because who's going to hold them accountable? The commission? No way. Not this commission. I've never been a big fan of the Texas Commission. I'm not a lot of the commissions, to be honest, but especially the Texas one. I believe Dickie Cole or whatever, his son Lawrence Cole, judged 2 of the 3 main fights. Go figure, right? To get those pays and get on TV, but I don't know. Anyways, a couple other things real quick. The crowd, show a little respect, whether you don't like Paulie Malignaggi or not. There's no need to flip him off, try to give him throat slashes. If you're going to get a guy in the crowd, give him a throat slash to flip him off, dude, get in his face and do it. Otherwise, don't do it at all, because we know you wouldn't. So, you just show the fighters some respect. Afterwards, Paulie Malignaggi was trying to say in the interview, post-fight interview, he thought it was a good fight town and whatnot. The crowd was still booing him, Just show the guy some respect, whether you like him or not. At least the guy went in there and gave a good, tough account of himself, for 12 rounds and made for a good fight. Also, Max Kellerman, I've been a fan, but I'm surprised he didn't take the judges to task more like Bob Hoppe and Lennox Lewis did, but he didn't, and I was actually kind of disappointed that he didn't. But anyways, I thought Malignaggi won the fight. But hey, it was a close fight either way. But it's unfortunate that Malignaggi's probably not going to get a rematch, But that's pretty much it for now. I might make a video later on something completely different. But till next time, whatever, guys, I'm out. Bye.